Chautauqua Leadership Network is 21 years old this year, so it means that you are allowed to drink tonight here at Webb's. Approximately 500 individuals have from throughout Chautauqua County have gone through the CLN program. A program that's designed to improve one's own leadership skills, but just as important, if not more important, expand their awareness of the communities of Chautauqua County, participate as trained community leaders, and truly make a difference in the quality of life in Chautauqua County. Now, the success of CLN is due in great part to the work not only of Penny, but to the board and committees. And I'd just like to take a couple moments here to have this year's board members, those who are present, please stand and be recognized. Any members of the CLN board who are with us tonight? Also ask if any of our committee chairs, and these committees are doing a heck of a lot of work during the year. Do we have any committee chairs who are with us tonight? And a last very sincere thank you to those board members, past board members who are with us this evening. I'd also just like to take a couple moments to recognize former CLN presidents who are joining us this evening, including Andrew Nixon, president in 2012, who filled in for me at the beginning of this program. I very much appreciate you doing that, Andrew. And right next to Andrew, Lisa Goodell, who was CLN president in 2010. Paul Hedberg. Is Paul here? Yes. Paul, 2005. And last but not least, Bard Schack, who was president, I believe, from 1993 through 1996. Is that correct? For life. Before we do award the Leader of the Year award to Dr. DeCinque this evening, we have been joined by a few guests who are here to offer a special recognition to Dr. DeCinque for his service to this county. First, I'd like to welcome Dr. Virginia Horvath, the president of SUNY Fredonia.
Thank you, and congratulations to CLN on your success. It's a pleasure for me to hear about your history and the legacy that those who've been part of it have left for all of us in Chautauqua County. And of course, I'd like to add my personal congratulations, Greg, to you on this honor. And I am here representing the Chancellor of the State of New York, State University of New York, Dr. Nancy Zimpfer, and I have a letter to read from her. Dear friends and distinguished members of the Chautauqua Leadership Network, it is my great pleasure to write to you today to convey my congratulations on behalf of the entire SUNY system to Dr. Greg DeCinque on his receipt of the Leader of the Year Award. I want to thank you, the members of the Chautauqua Leadership Network, for selecting him for this great distinction. As I have told Greg in the past, he knows better than anyone the crucial role community colleges play in shaping not only individual lives, but New York's and our nation's future. Under Greg's care and nearly 2 decades of strong leadership, JCC has become a model for what community colleges can be, both for the students themselves and for the regions they serve. As you all know, Greg is stepping down from his role as JCC's president. His will be tough shoes to fill. I'm grateful to have had the chance to work alongside him and be inspired by his excellent example. Greg has been a valuable and trusted partner at SUNY and in the Jamestown community. I can think of no one more deserving of this award and want to extend to Greg and to all of you our message of how very proud we are of him, how grateful we are to count him as part of the SUNY family. I'm sorry that I'm not able to join you this evening, but I wish you all an enjoyable and memorable time. And to Greg DeCinque, I wish every future success. With best regards, Nancy L. Zimpfer, Chancellor.
Before I welcome up Andy Goodell, I do want to thank him. When I arrived running literally from Chautauqua Institution tonight, there was a colleague of mine in CLN who bet against my being here in time to speak. And there was someone else at the table who believed in me. That person happened to be New York Assemblyman Andy Goodell. So I do want to welcome up the Assemblyman, CLN class member, 1993.
Good evening. I had a few words for Greg. Who are you? I mean, really, who are you? We can go on for 5 minutes. I've been practicing for 21 years, and people still ask me that question. It's a tremendous honor for us to be here with you, Greg. And the only one in the room with a boutonniere. As usual, outshining the rest of us, but I had the pleasure of meeting Greg when Dave Dawson had suggested that it was time that we expand the sponsorship of community college from Jamestown being the sole sponsor to Jamestown, Chautauqua County, and Cattaraugus County jointly sponsoring JCC. And Lance Spicer is here. I was involved in that process as well, and Dean Winger was involved, and Mayor Kimball was involved, Don Winship, and a couple of others. And it's an amazing thing when you take a community college that's been sponsored by one entity and expand it to include 2 counties. And Greg had the leadership skills and ability to make that a reality. And when somebody looks back and they want to honor someone, the real question is not just are they a nice guy, it's not just who are you, but it's what you've accomplished. And from that beginning, Jamestown Community College has grown to be the premier community college in New York State. When I went to JCC some when I was in high school and after, and the parking lots, contrary to popular belief, were actually paved by then. But if you were to take a snapshot then and compare it to now, what a difference in that campus. I mean, it's astounding. Whether it's what we called the new Science Center, which was before they built the Carnahan-Jackson building, but that was built. The new green science building, LED certified, amazing accomplishment. The dormitories that are there, but most importantly, the academic qualifications and achievements of that college are astounding. You cannot get a better value in a 2-year college anywhere, and if you followed up with SUNY Fredonia, you got the winning match. But what a great winning match. So I prepared this citation. It's very small print. And it lists some of Greg's accomplishments. It's several pages long. So if anyone wants to order another drink, now would be the time. But as a courtesy to all you, I'm just going to read the first and last paragraph. And Be careful, I can still read the rest. As a member of the New York State Assembly, following the customs of our legislative body, and on behalf of the citizens of the state of New York, I am pleased to acknowledge the significant milestones in the distinguished career of an exemplary individual whose dedication and achievements have been instrumental in developing character and academic excellence in Chautauqua County and for citizens across the state. And it is therefore my pleasure to commend the effort of Greg DeCinque and to support the proud traditions of public service and education by providing the skills and talents needed to make Jamestown Community College an extraordinary institution. And so on behalf of all my colleagues across New York State and the New York State Assembly, congratulations, well deserved.
Lastly, what I'd like to do is welcome a fellow CLN board member and CLN class of 2008, Christy Schuyler, Director of the Chautauqua County Department of Health and Human Services.
Well, good evening. I'm here on behalf of County Executive Greg Edwards, who couldn't be with us tonight, and also on behalf of the entire Chautauqua County government. And those of you who know me know that I couldn't do this without ad-libbing somewhat, even though Greg has this very nice prepared certificate. But I must say, in addition to being here on behalf of the county exec and government, I'm also here as a community member and a parent. While I don't know Dr. DeCinque personally, we've had interactions at various events and meetings, but I'm also a mom of 3 kids who've successfully gone through JCC and done very well, moved on to Syracuse, the University of Buffalo, and also Alfred State, and are all doing very well. And I had a Jayhawk, girls basketball player. So I think from a whole lot of different angles, many of us in this room are here to honor Dr. DeCinque for all that he's contributed on so many different levels to all of us. And on behalf of County Executive Edwards, the Chautauqua County Certificate of Recognition presented to Dr. Gregory DeCinque for receiving the 2013 Leader of the Year Award from the Chautauqua Leadership Network. It is through his leadership, commitment, and dedication to guide and expand Jamestown Community College that he has, over the last 19 years, been a crucial part of milestone accomplishments in the campus's history, such as bringing about technology advancements, making JCC a residential campus, and opening the new Science Center. Respectfully, Gregory J. Edwards, Chautauqua County Executive.
And now on to the main event. Here to present the 2013 Chautauqua Leadership Network Leader of the Year Award is a longtime colleague of Dr. Greg DeCinque, CLN class of 1999 member Denise Burby, who along with fellow JCC colleague Marcia Hearn nominated Dr. DeCinque for this year's award. Denise?
Thank you, Matt. Good evening, everybody. The CLN Leader of the Year Award is given annually to an individual or an organization whose activities have done the most to promote the vision and mission of Chautauqua Leadership Network. That vision is to create a community who's in active control of its destiny. As Sylvia started us out with, the mission is to identify and nurture regional leaders, to provide a framework for an emerging network of skilled civic trustees, and to help our communities meet the challenges of today and the opportunities of tomorrow. When you talk about facing the challenges of today and seizing the opportunities, Our Leader of the Year has done just that. He joined Jamestown Community College in 1994 and successfully led the college's transformation from a financial uncertainty to being named 2011's top performing public two-year college in New York State. Greg's focus has been very clear from the start. The goal at JCC is to help students succeed in education, in the business world, and in life. Over his 19 years here at JCC, he has done just that by providing the leadership, the academic programs, the services, and the facilities our students need to take their place as future leaders here in Chautauqua County. He has been an unwavering supporter of Chautauqua Leadership Network and its mission to develop leaders in our region. He not only supported the growth and development of CLN in its beginning years, but he has continued to sponsor employees each year's leadership class and in all of the alumni activities. Over 35 college employees have received leadership training through CLN. He is a kind, compassionate, and visionary leader, and he's an example for us all. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I'd like to share some pictures and some words of my colleagues with you tonight about our Leader of the Year.
Meet a new member of the JCC family. His name is Gregory DeCinque, and he is JCC's new president. Greg, thanks for joining us today. To start off, can you tell us you're coming from Connecticut? What attracted you to Jamestown Community College?
Well, Laura and I both had a desire to become part of a community that was also going to be supportive of its community college, and I think that's just been, we've been absolutely amazed at how supportive this community is of Jamestown Community College. There's a new paradigm, and that new paradigm really is lifelong learning and a need to continually be upgrading our skills and our knowledge that help us contribute to the communities that we live in.
Thanks, Greg, and congratulations. Thank you for keeping a steady hand on the steering wheel. You've driven us to some pretty amazing places over the past nearly 20 years, and I've had the privilege of being a passenger on that journey. It's been a great journey. And I'm very grateful that you've left a good roadmap to set us on the right course for the future. I wish you the best.
Greg, I've enjoyed working with you over these past 19 years. Thank you for your vision and for your leadership that's positioned JCC so well for the future. Congratulations on your retirement. We will miss you, and we wish you well as you embark on this next phase of your life.
Thank you, Greg, for building a culture of respect and commitment by all members of JCC. It was a pleasure to see you in the halls on a daily basis and to see you connecting with our students.
As residents of Cattaraugus County, we are forever grateful for your leadership role, Greg, in creating the JCC campus in Olean. The legacy you leave behind will be a constant reminder of the commitment you made to provide lifelong learning opportunities to the residents of our region. I wish you a rich, healthy, and happy retirement.
Greg has been just a tremendous leader in the community. We've been really thankful that he's been here for 19 years and everything that he's added. The college itself has got a lot of people to thank for its growth, but Greg as a leader has just been tremendous in that role, in dorm projects, to the expansion, to the science building. to all the things that have occurred here. Many thanks to everyone that's involved, but really thanks to Greg, because Greg was truly a gifted leader to get all of that done and pull all the resources together.
Well, Greg, one of the most amazing things about you and your leadership was your connection with every employee at the college. I was always impressed with the fact that you knew their names, you knew their faces, and you knew a lot about their world outside of JCC. You took an interest in us and we became a part of your extended family. And the cool thing is that your leadership has shaped JCC as to what we see today. So congratulations, Greg, on all your career achievements and awards. You've been a very special person to all of us, and you will be missed. So have fun sailing into the sunset with Laura.
Greg, I would like to wish you a very long, happy, and healthy retirement, as you've certainly earned that. When I stop and reflect on the many accomplishments you've had here at JCC, I think most about your unwavering commitment to academic excellence, which has truly supported our traditions here at JCC and strengthened our ability to deliver top quality education. And I also think about the ways in which you have supported a collaborative spirit here within the college and developed stronger partnerships perhaps than we even had before with so many community groups and agencies. Truly, when you think about your accomplishments here at JCC, I hope you will reflect on all of the many, many ways in which you have made a difference in this college, which has in turn made a difference in the lives of thousands and thousands of students who have been positively affected by the JCC experience. We thank you for everything you've contributed, and indeed, we will miss you.
You've always understood and practiced the balance between work and family, and I really appreciate that, as I know everybody else here at the college does. You're not just a dynamic leader, but you're also a kind, compassionate, and forward-thinking leader. I'm really going to miss you, but you've earned every bit of your retirement, and I hope you enjoy every minute of it.
I came from the rough and tumble world of county politics, which is, as I say, can be very rough, and didn't really understand totally the collegial method of management. And he helped me understand that and get over that little blip in our relationship. I want to thank Donna Beal also. She helped me also at that time. So Greg, thank you for from the whole board for all you have done and for the college. And now that you recently purchased a new boat, and since I'm a Navy graduate, I will leave you with this. In the Navy we say, may you always have fair winds and following seas. So I wish that for you and all the best. Thank you very much.
Greg, 6 years ago I had put myself in the job market, and at that time I had a number of offers, JCC being one of them. And I consulted a trusted friend of mine, a good advisor, and he said to me, Jamestown Community College is the place that you want to go. They do everything right there. And after I came here and started working with you, I found out that truer words were never spoken. You've created a culture here that's just tremendous. It's a culture where we work with one another. People don't work for me. They are my teammates. I don't feel like I work for you. I think we work with each other. And that's a great type of environment in which to work. I do remember what you told me in my orientation when I first started, and that was we all have one job here, and that is to ensure the success of our students. I think that's something that everybody at the college works with, and again, a tremendous philosophy to have, and it overarches everything that we do. So congratulations on your retirement, my heartfelt congratulations. I'm very happy for you. And I hope you do keep in touch with us over the course of the years. Your counsel and friendship has been invaluable, and though I won't be working with you anymore, I hope to be able to draw upon your expertise and advice in the future. Congratulations, Greg.
Hey, Greg. I am so happy to have the opportunity to formally congratulate you. This is really big stuff here. And I also wanted to say, I think as all of us think about our time at JCC and we think about leaving JCC, we really will all hope we've written a page in the book of what is JCC. And I want to tell you, I think you have a whole chapter. You've written a chapter in the book that is Jamestown Community College. And I think what that chapter will tell us is that you've left buildings, and you've left policies, and you've left innovative practices. But what we will most remember is the culture that you've influenced, that you've had a culture of honesty and a culture of kindness and a culture of knowing who you're working with. Your legacy is going to be that you cared about all of us, that you knew us by name. So, Greg, as you head out, I wish you all the best. I will be seeing you again, I'm sure, but congratulations. Have a great one.
We're glad to have you as part of the college, part of the community, and thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
As you can see, Greg has not only made an impact in education, in business, and in our community, but he has made an impact in the lives and hearts of all of those who know him. It is my great honor to present the 2013 CLN Leadership of the Year Award to Dr. Greg DeCinque.
Yeah, now where do I go? You know what? I think I've changed my mind. I'm not going to retire. Is it too late? There's so many things to be said. After that, it's hard to say much of anything. But I'll try and share some thoughts without keeping you here all night. I wanted to talk regional sponsorship, and Andy Goodell was county executive when I came here. And I will say that one of the things that has kept me here so long is working with political leaders like Andy and Lance and Dale and others who have been so, and Wally when he was on the legislature, Mark Ward who was a member of the Cattaraugus legislature, all of these individuals who work to support this institution. When we went through that regionalization process, and Gary Winger was the right hand, if not the top hand, in making a lot of that happen by developing the financial models that work for everyone. And Andy and Gary, remember when we got to Albany after having had the College Board, the City Council, the Chautauqua Legislature, the Cattaraugus Legislature, and a number of other groups vote to support this, the only question that the SUNY Board had was, how in the hell did you get that many political bodies to be in? And we're still not sure how, but unfortunately we did. I also have to tell you that what I remember the most about Andy is he took me for a ride in his Volkswagen Rabbit. And it had...
Sorry, Greg, I'm sorry.
I know you are. It's not your fault. And all the dials and buttons were gone, and he had replaced them all with toggle switches. So everything he did he had to hit a toggle switch. And then he offered to fly me to Albany in the county plane, and he said it had the same toggle switches. Well, I said, thank you very much, but I think I'll stay home. Dr. Horvath, thank you for representing Chancellor Zimpher. And I joked with Ginny on the way in. I looked down at her feet because, now this is an inside joke, but I'm going to try it. Nancy Zimpher is a very tall woman, and you saw one picture of her, and she always wears 6 or 7 inch, what they call spike heels, narrow spike heels, and she wears fishnet stockings. And I said, Ginny, you should have worn those tonight because I would have gotten the joke. Now, one other story about Albany and SUNY. We were chatting about this. One time there was a new chancellor at the state university, and I'm in the office, and they get a call and it says, Chancellor, this was Bartlett. I don't know if you remember before your time, even in Fredonia. Chancellor Bartlett was wondering if Dr. DeCinque could join him for lunch today. And we said, do you know where we are? He said, no. But they thought I could run down for lunch. Another time, this is my story of how different we are here than Albany. We get a call, and Marcia got the call, I believe, and it said, the provost, this was Dr. Salins, of the university will be visiting Jamestown Community College tomorrow, and would you please, he'll be arriving at the Buffalo Airport at 3 p.m. And would you please have your president's driver pick him up? Now, Marcia, quick-witted as she is, says, we certainly could do that. But you do have to understand that out here, the president is the driver. What makes it funny is it's true. Oh, I'll tell you. One other quick story about community colleges, because I just love them. I moved into the community college world in 1977, I think. And went to I think I went dead here. Did I go dead? Yeah. You can hear me all right, though? Yeah. In 1977, and was just so taken with this new, uniquely American institution that was growing so fast that people are just saying, what is this thing? And to the point today where community colleges represent fully 1/2 of all those students who enter the path to higher education. So we've done something right. And I hope that I believe that it is, it's providing a quality education at affordable prices and being able to provide the kinds of services that do make students successful. But what I wanted to tell you about was a picture of me in my regalia. Yeah. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Great. Gowns, I feel so. Well, did you notice that the medallion on one? I was wearing a medallion. Well, every college president, you have a medallion? College medallion? Let me tell you about my medallion. Because community colleges, two, we're very cost effective. So, you know the story, right? When I got to JCC, I'm getting ready for my first commencement. And I said, where's the college medallion? And they said, we don't have one. Well, sitting on my desk was this little coffee thing that said JCC. And we had a maintenance guy at the time named Butch Mayone, who could fix anything. Butch is in my office. And I said, Butch, I don't have a medallion. And he said, can I have that? I said, sure. So he goes and he takes it away. The next day he comes back and he's carved out this arch and he's glued that sucker on there and he put that ribbon on. He says, you owe me $3 for the ribbon. So if anyone wants to tell Dr. Duckworth he's wearing a $3 medallion, you go right ahead and do that. Now, of the other comments that were made by the folks who presented some honors, Justine, what you had to say, and nothing against anyone else, mentioning your 3 children, to me, was what it was all about. That those 3 young people came to JCC and went on to do other things. I know Dr. Horvath knows a lot of our ceremonies when students walk across the stage, when you ask them what they're doing next year, I'll be at Fredonia. So we've always had a wonderful partnership in sharing that. But it's always to me, and I think hopefully it was reflected there, is about the students. Now, go ahead. You got his number? I'll call him now. You know, I've had so much fun in the last 19 years. And like all of you, there are days when your work is not exactly what you want it to be. But I say to I try to meet with all of our freshman classes. And the one thing that I try to leave them with is try to find something that you can do, that you can be in a position like I am, that after 40 years of doing it, you can still say, I love to do what I do. I don't think you can have a better wish for anyone that they have a life and a career that really gives them that satisfaction. Let me turn a little bit to just some, that was off the cuff, by the way. Let me turn to just a few formal remarks and close this out. Over the last couple months, first of all, I want to thank the Chautauqua Leadership Network for this award. I know I'm in some great company, and I've known a lot of the other recipients over the years, and I feel very honored to be entering into that group. I have really been privileged over the last 2 decades to lead and be part of one of our community's most important organizations. So I accept the honor, but only on the condition that it really is for everyone at JCC. And with that, every JCC person here stand up. All right. Get on your feet. Those are great folks. I also would be remiss and probably in trouble later if I didn't thank my wife, Laura. Also, all of my friends and colleagues who came out tonight, I just tremendously am grateful for your support over the years. And maybe just, I noticed from the slides up there, I've gotten older. And if there's any advantage, I think maybe it's some perspective. So I want to share a little bit of perspective with you fairly quickly here. First of all, I want to tell you I have a pedigree. And that pedigree is, and some of you may not know this, that 25 years ago I completed Leadership Greater Hartford. So I actually participated in the program very similar to CLN. And I have to tell you a quick story about Ted Carroll, who was the head of the Leadership Greater Hartford program. Do you still do a bus trip and show people around at all?
Still doing a bus trip?
We did a bus trip of Hartford. And Ted Carroll, the head of Leadership Greater Hartford, conducted the bus trip. And we're on this bus driving all around Hartford. And all of a sudden we head up this big high hill. And we're driving up and driving up and driving up. And finally we get to the top of this hill. And he says, wow. He said, this is the highest point in the city of Hartford. And he says, the buildings you see over there is the Hartford School for the Blind. And as you can see, they have the best view in the city. Now, I've got to tell you, that is a lesson in leadership. Watch, don't get the brain engaged, get the mouth engaged before the brain. Because he meant well. He did mean well. And one of the reasons when I came to JCC, I felt so supportive of Chautauqua Leadership Network is certainly because of the experience I had there. I wanted to talk a little bit about, for me, leadership then and now. How I viewed leadership 25 or 30 years ago, when we're all fresh and full of cuss and vinegar, and how I look at it now as I'm entering the last part of this part of my career. I'll be a little careful here because I don't want to appear to be giving advice. Because a number of years ago, some of you may know my youngest son, Spencer, and he's kind of precocious. And when he was about 8 or 9, I asked him one day, just being the educator that I am, I said, Spencer, do you know who Socrates is? And he said, oh yeah, Dad, Socrates was this old Greek guy, and he went around giving people good advice, so they poisoned them. So ever since that's another lesson in leadership. Be careful. How many of you ever heard of something called Pods Corp? Any of you who were ever trained in classical leadership and management theory would have dealt with something back then. Am I that old? Yeah, I guess so. Called Pods Corp. And what it stands for is planning, organization, staffing, directing, Gary remembers now, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. And thank God there's been a lot of evolution in leadership theory since then, because back then they thought if you just mastered all those very technical things, voila, a leader is born. And I studied all that, and I tried to evolve with other leadership roles. But for today, I came up with my own, it's not exactly an acronym, it's more of an equation. And here's my equation about leadership effectiveness. T plus C squared plus H squared plus L plus P plus W cubed equals effective leadership. Here's what I mean. First, the T is trust. And I will tell you, after this many years, I think if there is no trust in an organization, nothing is going to happen. And it really is a responsibility of the leader as well as others to really develop trust in an organization. The C and C squared, the first C is consistency. And that means being fair at all times. If people who are around you view you as being unfair and lacking consistency, you're going to have a much, much harder row to hoe. The next C is culture and environment. And that was reflected a little bit in that piece as well, and I was very grateful to see that. Because I have always believed that the leader's role was creating a place for the good people in an organization to do good work. It's not about the leader doing all the work, it's about creating the environment in which people can do good work. And this one, the next one I had trouble with, and that's humility. No, just kidding. You are, as the leader, not better than anyone else in your organization, no matter what your dog tells you. You're just not. And again, I hope that was reflected in there too, that humility needs to be evident in leadership. The next H in H squared is some humor. We've all demonstrated that tonight. Humor is good. Now, I also point out to people, sometimes it's kind of risky, because you can trip on your tongue and wind up in a little bit of a problem. But humor in an organization is just, I think, very, very important. The L is longevity. And I used to think that you could change culture and change an organization as a strong leader exercising Pods Corp in 3 or 4 years. I now have come to believe that you're really looking at 7, 8, 9, 10 years to really change an organization and institutionalize that change. So when you see leaders turning over all the time, and often that's a problem in lots of our organizations, especially educational institutions, that you do not have that longevity in leadership. And patience. The P is patience. And Laura always asks me, I said, how do you deal with this stuff? And I say, patience. Sometimes you just have to trust the process. You have to trust that the organization will get where it needs to go without you forcing it there every minute of the day. And finally, W cubed. W cubed is, it's we. And that's not old McDonald. But it always has to be we in an organization. If the leader is constantly saying, I did this and I'm responsible for that, I don't think you're going to have the kind of culture in an organization you really would like to have. So, you can take it or leave it, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. You certainly need to have those technical skills, but after all these years, I really think it's those softer skills that really are what create effective leadership. And I want to finish with, and this is so trite, because it's a yogiism. But I love yogiisms. And my yogiism of tonight is just remember, I didn't really say everything I said. So, thank you very much for this honor. It's been a great pleasure.
Well,
Well, as we close this evening, I have a couple personal remarks, but I was left a note regarding DVDs available, I believe, of the JCC remarks.
$5 a piece.
It goes to the retirement fund, absolutely. I'll be here for a few minutes afterwards. I'm not sure the exact details, but please come see me and I'll make sure I get those details for you. But before we all leave tonight, just a couple personal comments, especially as I watch that incredibly powerful video tonight. First, on behalf of all of those who call Jamestown and Chautauqua County home, as I do and my wife do, thank you for making this place a place where we're raising our son, a place of great pride and hope. And also, on behalf of Chautauqua Leadership Network, particularly those of us who are looking at the next 20, 30 years of our leadership development, I look at that video and I can only think in terms of advice, just do what he's done. So thank you very much, Dr. DeCinque, and thank you all for being here.